I feel fine. I feel great. But when you put a jive right when you have COVID, it's a little like COVID fatigue is a real thing.
Cheryl Burke, I'm just so happy to be talking to you today and so glad to finally have you and Cody back in the ballroom. I want to start first by just applauding you guys for all of the extra hard work you've been doing to keep us fans at home entertained. You guys make it look effortless, but I'm sure that's not the case behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask, how are you guys actually holding up with all of this?
Yeah. So, I mean, like, well, first of all, thank you. And it's nice to be here. I'm happy that, we can take some time to actually talk via Zoom. So it hasn't been easy, but I'm happy you've been enjoying it. But as far as my health goes, and Cody's, I'll speak for myself, like I feel fine. I feel great. But when you put a jive right when you have COVID, it's a little like COVID fatigue is a real thing. And it's weird because I've never really had this experience where it's like outer body kind of, or maybe it's more like brain fog, where it's like your body and your brain is not connecting, right? So it's so weird. So everyone basically camera blocked their first dance Saturday and their second dance Sunday. We did both on Sunday. So that fatigue really was triggered and in full force. And I did feel like I had like a pillow in front of my face as I was driving. Because it wasn't just the one round I can totally do as far as like one dance, live show, easy breezy. But the camera blocking, because the cameras also have to rehearse, we need to do it like maybe 3-4 times and quickly, right? Like back to back to back. So that's what hurts.
What about Cody? Is he having like any lingering symptoms, anything like that?
A little bit. Yeah. Like he definitely was winded for sure on Sunday. But look, it just prepped us for Monday.
And on top of that, like COVID in itself, but then also just how hard you guys are working. I know that there's been some pain, some injuries with like Kenya, Mel C. I keep seeing her like icing everything. How are you guys on that front?
Well, sore is an understatement, but also for Cody, when I was teaching him jive kicks via Zoom, because I wasn't there and he was doing it in his sneakers, because the weight, like when you're continuing to like repeat, like it's just not good for your hips, right? And for your knees. So he injured himself a little bit to where like we actually couldn't even rehearse full out when I first saw him. But I gave him to my physical therapist and he fixed him. So we're good.
Grease night is coming up. I'm very excited about it. But I heard that you have never watched Grease. Is that true?
Who told you that?
Fans said that.
Oh my God. It's like as if you guys are in our rehearsal rooms. That is a fact. I know.
Oh my God,
What a shame. I know. Like, look, I'm going to blame it on somebody. I'm not going to take the full responsibility. I'm going to blame it on my mom because she never let me watch TV growing up, like at all, because it was just school and dance and school and dance. So I was very much like I had 1 hour, and that was Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. 90210. Like, sorry, that was just what I chose.
Are you going to be watching any of it this week to prepare though?
I definitely have been watching this from the song that we're dancing to, but that's all I got time for, girl. I'm already having to prep for next week,
Grease night, is everyone going to be playing a different character? How's that going to work?
I mean, I'm just gonna tell you. I'm sure it's fine, but like basically they're gonna be doing it in order, right? So in order of the movie. So like, I'll just say we're dancing last because like that we have that last like finale song. So it's really cool. Actually, they've never done it like that before.
What can you tell us about the song and dance?
So we're dancing to "We Go Together." It's a quick step, nothing like a COVID quick step.
Back to back jive and quick step. That is no joke.
No, and I always say like whenever there's a quick step, you always want to get it the first few weeks of the show because the music's really short. Of course, the music now has officially extended to a 135. The extra added 5 seconds with a partner who may not be consistent with holding his frame up yet and having to not break hold burns so bad. We're great soloists together, but this is not a solo competition. This is about partnering. And that's what the judges have been getting us on. And I understand the frustration from them, the fact that like he had a solo for the jive, but like if you think about the time we had, I had no choice but to do that. But I promise there's no solos this week. We are going to be together and we're going to go together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfectly said. I did want to bring that up though. I know that you've been a little bit more vocal than your fellow pros about the judges. As a viewer myself, I do feel like, I've been watching for years. It seems like there is more tension when it comes to the judging this season. Why do you think that is? And do you feel like a lot of the pros and contestants are kind of discouraged?
Look, it's a TV show, right? Like really, like if we put everything into perspective, but it's a TV show that we work our asses off on. Like this is no joke. When I compare the show to Survivor, I've never done Survivor, but I can only imagine, right? Like it's 7 days a week, except we've got the, obviously perks of having water, whatever we need, water and food. But really it is full on, and you're trying to force your body to do things that, first of all, most contestants have never done before, right? I think the judges are trying to make good TV, but they're also really trying to judge us on an even playing field, because a lot of the contestants do have dance experience. So I feel bad for the ones that may have, or they think may have dance experience, when really it's actually, and I've said this before, it's really hard to have someone come on with dance experience, because it's harder to untrain the brain than it is to like teach the brain new things. I find that when I try to manipulate football players, let's say, they've never done this before, so everything feels uncomfortable. Like everything does. And like when I say to Cody, if you feel comfortable, you're doing it wrong, because like he has, your body memorizes the muscle memory, right? So then like if he has danced, let's say years ago, mind you, and he felt good and comfortable and like, but his posture's like this, of course he's gonna feel weird dancing like that. Like it's just not normal. Like what we do to our bodies, which is why I have arthritis everywhere, we are just moving it like in places that shouldn't be moved. Like we are just, it's all about opposition, right? So it's like if your hips are going right, your upper body's got to go left, and it just looks and feels weird. And so for that, I say the judges should cool it a little bit, because just if you look at the science of how your brain works, it's a lot harder to untrain the brain.
Definitely. And, there's this weird, like kind of wacky fan theory out there that pros like you and other people that have spoken out about judges are getting lower scores. First of all, do you think that's true?
Oh, that we actually get like we get those emails from producers. They love that shit.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't. They love it. They love it because it's like the old days back in American Idol with Simon Cowell. Like
Yeah.
it is important to have that camaraderie. Mind you, what I'm saying though is 100% true. I will never fight back on live television. I didn't find that very just like rude, I think, and it doesn't look right. Like when I have seen a couple of the male celebs poke back at them, and it's like at the end of the day, this is not about us. This is about the celebrity, and let's just let them. That's why I always tend to like, I just want Cody to shine. Like that's my real intention here. And it's my it's important for me too that my partner feels good about himself, because at the end of the day, you can only do so much and work so hard before you're just over it, because you're feeling so discouraged. And no matter what, this is a feel good TV show. So I think they can still be as harsh. Just give us some constructive criticism. Just don't say like, I wish you were here when we had COVID. Like that doesn't help at all. Doesn't help.
Well, his fans are amazing. Like,
they're amazing.
I have friends that have never watched Dancing with the Stars ever before, and now they're tuning in just for him.
That's
have
awesome.
You guys switched roles yet? Like, have you taken a class of his?
Not yet, no, and I'm scared too, because I am so sore already. Like, especially maybe if we have a Rumba one week, I'll definitely jump on a Peloton. But like until then, it's also challenging for Cody too, because I asked him one of the first few days we started dancing together, when was the last time he learned something? Like when was he coached? And he goes, I don't even remember. So he is used to being the teacher. He's used to counting himself in. I've just surrendered to it, because like he still wants to count. So I'm like, if your brain will only take so much, but if you want to learn your counts and learn your steps, that's on you, boo boo. But like, I'm just letting it be at this point, because that's what he's used to. And honestly, if he could know his counts and his steps, that's probably why we could dance remote like that.
How do you feel about season 30? Like, could this be your last realistically?
I mean, I don't know, because I don't want to say, like I always get asked this when I'm like so tired, my body hurts, and I'm like, ugh. But look, at the end of the day, dancing is my passion. I love it. first we have to see if the show gets, I'm sure it will, gets picked up, and then we kind of have to like figure out where I am at that point in my life, because so many things have changed. I mean, you can just see this with the pandemic. I mean, it just literally came the next day and we're like, everything has changed. So like, look, I do want kids eventually. I'm not like pressuring myself to have it like now, but like I'm just like really trying to let go and let God, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. And I mean, fans have said this for years. I know that you want to do it as well, but judging, like, what do you think is realistically the odds of that happening someday later in the season if it's still going?
I would honestly judge for free. Don't say that. I mean, don't print that, because that, I mean, this is going to be airing. Never mind. But honestly, I just think I have so much to give as far as being also constructive and critiquing. And like, not only have I been a part of the show for 24 seasons, I also can understand where they're coming from. And I think there's a different approach to judging that no one has really done before, because we keep judging the celebrity. I don't think judging is the right word. I think it's more like critiquing, right? Like, I think it's important that we judge as a partnership, because it is a partnership. And if we only focus the attention on the celebrity, especially when it's the woman, let's say, because like technically the man should be leading the woman. So maybe it's more of a collaborative way of saying something than just focusing solely on one person. And then you get offended when they talk about the choreography, because you're like, wait, it's not about me. It's Dancing with the Stars. But it's like, no. It's a package deal, And I would love, actually, like, maybe it's like a weekly thing. They come in for 20 minutes for each couple, and then they mentor us, kind of like the way Dancing Juniors went. I also have offered, because I've offered my own position on the show, basically saying I would mentor all these couples, because I think they need somebody who is hands-on a little bit.
What can you tease about what you and Cody will be in for Grease Night?
Let's just put it this way: leather, black, and a jumpsuit off the shoulder.
Okay.
The actual, it's funny because me and Max, we actually did this photo shoot years ago. There was like an Asian, me, Sandy, and then we had a Ukrainian, John Travolta, Danny, and like literally we reenacted all these famous dance movies. So we did it for Dirty Dancing, we did it for Grease, and I actually looked it up when I had my creative consult, because I was like, because they were talking about like what they wanted me to look like, and I was like, you mean like this? And I sent it to them. They were like, oh my God, just like that.